Jason asked me, what would it take for you to be a yell leader for Texas A&M? It'd have to be a big number, Jason. I could see you being one.
Whoa, I mean, I have the charisma. I could dance a little.
Thinking. Charisma was, I haven't thought that actually in any, when we're discussing you, but
Whoa.
But I could see you as a Texas A&M yell leader. Would you do it for $1,000?
No, you'd have to I'd either have to be threatened or have a lot of money on the table. And by a lot, I mean like tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Because, and then you got to open up the conversation. Are we talking multiple games? Are we talking the biggest game?
Yeah, like a one-off or the whole season?
Yeah, or it's even worse when you're on the road and it's silent, so people aren't yelling with you, and you're just in front of
Do they go on the road?
The videos of them at Tennessee this weekend.
Was it embarrassing?
With silence, and you can hear them though. Come on, Aggies! Whatever they say, doing the little gun things.
Oh my gosh,
that would be way worse. Because people buy in College Station.
Absolutely.
They're like, yeah, that's our guys right there.
Yeah.
It's probably like a big deal. Like your parents, if they found out that you became a yell leader, they're like, we're so proud of our boy.
I'm sure there's tryouts, just like cheerleading.
No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And then don't they have cheer practices like the night before game?
Do they cheer with the cheerleaders?
I think some people do.
Okay.
I know
or maybe there's certain times where they do certain skits or whatever they're called.
Skits.
What am I trying to say?
Routines.
Routines.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't really watch anyway. All right. So, yell leader. It'd be a lot of money.
I could maybe pull off the all white. I kind of like the all white.
Okay. So, and what you're also saying is there at Texas A&M, it is prestigious.
Yes. That's what I feel like people at Texas A&M, if I were from there and I became a yell leader, my parents would be like, I'm so proud of you. This is one of the best days.
What if your dad called you and said, what the hell are you doing?
Ooh.
I bet that's happened too.
Oh, yes. No, they're like, oh, you didn't want to try to walk on? You wanted to be a yell leader? It's like, well.
So what would it take? Let's ask our listeners.
Okay.
On the text line, 601-885-3776. What would it take for you to be a yell leader at Texas A&M? Do we want to go ahead? Let's just first season. Let's not give several one-off, one game.
Yeah.
Let's go for one season. What would it take for you to be a yell leader at Texas A&M?
I'm thinking more like ransom, like somebody steals your dog and is like, you have to go be a yell leader in order to get your dog back. Like, I'm thinking something that drastic.
Or like you're a broke college kid and you can't afford your car payments and somebody will forgive them for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you get repoed.
Okay. Like your back's against the wall.
Right.
You're about to be evicted from your apartment.
Yeah, it's got your ex-girlfriend
with like multiple months of rent due.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, people are throwing your clothes out of your apartment right then. They're like, you know what, you have to move out. Or you do the little finger guns a little bit. You scream, let's go Aggies, and you twirl around in all white.
Okay.
And people will think that you're cool. Like some people will actually think that you're cool for doing it, because some people.
I would think that percentage is in single digits.
Oh, you think?
Or do you think it's that, again, prestigious and respected? Am I looking? I could be looking at it the wrong way. Well, I've never really paid attention to them. I mean, I just had to ask you if they had been on the road.
Yeah. I mean, you have no clue.
I've been to Mississippi State A&M games, and they don't ever factor in, to my game day experience.
Right. Very true.
Right.
But, I mean, to them, that's like their mascot, because they don't have like an on the field in a costume or even like live animal mascot. So that's their guy.
Okay. Mac in Vicksburg says 100,000, and it would have to be like the Masked Singer show.
So that in that show, it's like they put a big costume on. You can't tell who it is. And then at the very end, they reveal who it was.
I got it.
So
I got it.
basically hide the identity. And
no, but that doesn't count.
And he's in for 100K.
If you're a yell leader, you're a yell leader like they've been for years.
Right.
So we're not going to go down that.
All those other stipulations.
Yeah. Then we start, we're out in cartoon land. Jeff T on the Ag Up Equipment text line. The Texas A&M yell leaders and yell practice is one of the dumbest things in all of college football. Instead of going to the bar and partying the night before the game, you go to the football stadium and wear your voice out instead of saving your voice for the game. For me to be a yell leader at Texas A&M, it would take Elon Musk level money. Well, it wouldn't take that much.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. I can't remember what Elon's worth, but $100 billion. And so that. I think that's a little overboard, but I see where you're going.
But I mean, what if they're like, we'll pay off all your student loans? Because
I think that would work for some people. I mean, especially depending on what number. I mean, that's an abstract number. You'd have to be a little more, like if somebody had over 50K or 100K.
It's expensive there.
Well, it's expensive everywhere, and higher ed's absurd. Don't get me started. in how expensive college is, and all that, and whether or not it's worth it, and so on. Because the overwhelming majority of us just get a degree. I mean, a business degree, a political science degree, I mean, if you're going and getting nuclear engineering, hey, you're always going to be employed.
Oh yeah,
you're always going to make money, but most people get a degree and have to figure out, which is good. School doesn't teach you how to do this. School doesn't teach you how to learn how to make money on the street. It teaches you how to sit in the classroom and either open up a book or your iPad and what would you say? Teaching theoretically, I guess, instead of applicable.
Right. Especially during COVID.
Like a journalism degree. I mean,
oh, hey, whoa.
That's,
easy.
But I mean, it's, in the grand scheme of things, what is it worth?
Mm-hmm.
A general business degree, in the grand scheme of things, what is it worth? Poli-sci, in the grand, a few $1,000. But I mean, it costs like, I don't even know what it costs at State and Ole Miss over 4 years. $60K to go? Not counting all the apartments and spending money and blah, 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 blah. All right, so I went down there. Sorry. Let me
we got you started.
Out of bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. I'm not gonna do that. Brought to you by the Smoked Meats at Fleetway Market and the Market Cafe in Gluckstadt. Plus, they still had $9.38. You still get a breakfast sandwich. Fleetway Market Cafe in Gluckstadt. They have a new Fleetway Market in Clinton. It's actually open 24 hours. So a new Fleetway Market in Clinton. It's open 24 hours. So that's exciting. But we're talking about the Market Cafe, Fleetway Market in Gluckstadt. Smoked meats, blue plates for lunch, super good food. Check it out. Fleetway Market, Market Cafe in Gluckstadt. I want the Bruce Feldman audio. We're going to switch gears. Don't get me started, Sun Devil Macy. Don't get me started about linear thinking and memorizing, which is what school is. And that doesn't apply on the street anymore. It worked in 1971. And, well, actually, it's probably trending the other way. I should probably get closer to World War II. It worked in 1957. Out of bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. A&M is a cult. And Ross Bjork at A&M is about to be under an enormous amount of pressure. He's the one that extended Jimbo Fisher with this extraordinary contract. But see, in the grand scheme of things, it's pennies to Texas A&M. The wealth in that fan base is hard to wrap your brain around. They can't use this money, but this gives you an idea of their wealth. Their endowment is over $18 billion. I mean, they can find a dozen dudes to drop $6 million a piece, and it's like $60 for us. Just FYI. It's you going and buying a good steak around here. It is.
It's just, but that also doesn't excuse the lack of production, right? I mean, who's held more accountable? Is it Ross Bjork's fault? Is it Jimbo's fault? Is it
Ross didn't hire? We get fooled in sports and but in sports, he won a national championship, and people labeled him a phenomenal coach,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not. His record at Florida State outside of Jameis Winston wasn't good. His record at A&M isn't good. It just is what it is. But we get into this, and we say, "Oh well, he won a championship," even though this coach has been winning for years, just hasn't won the title. I mean, do you think Jimbo Fisher's as good as Kyle Whittingham
or Brian Kelly?
Well, no. Yeah, thank you. And Brian Kelly got embarrassed. So the typical dude, in a sports conversation today at lunch, just dumbs it down to, yeah, but Jimbo has a championship, Brian Kelly doesn't. And Brian Kelly got beat 38-0 in the 2012 national championship game by Alabama.
Yeah, that was bad.
But Brian Kelly is a much, much, much better coach than Jimbo Fisher. But yeah, they're going to have to move off of him. If they take a couple more losses, which I think y'all kind of, don't y'all, you got to like Ole Miss at home and LSU at home, don't you?
Yes,
I know you do. You're drinking the Kool-Aid on Ole Miss like crazy.
I'm pouring it up.
Yeah,
no doubt.
A&M at Ole Miss, A&M at LSU. He drops both of those 7-5. They have 3 losses at Miami, who just lost again over the weekend in North Carolina. At Miami, Bama at home, at Tennessee. That'd be 5. 7-5 for Jimbo Fisher. They will make a move. And Jason asked me this morning, are Bobby Petrino's hopes of a head coaching job dying? They could be. He's not the problem. What happened this past weekend at Tennessee? Bobby Petrino's an excellent offensive coach. They're trying to do, what they can, I think. I don't know. Is this going to be the week that Jimbo takes over? Or is he already taken? I don't know how much he's meddling. Petrino, their numbers have, for the most part, been much better. But we'll see. Oh, dude. Jimbo Fisher talking is awesome. I agree with Sun Devil Macy. Jimbo Fisher and Mel Tucker have the greatest agents ever. Well, Jimbo has Jimmy Sexton. I would think Mel Tucker does too. All right, let's drop some Bruce Feldman. This is National College Football writer Bruce Feldman with Fox. He's talking about Jimbo Fisher and his future.
The buyout is huge, $77 million. But I'm told if he doesn't get it going this year, A&M will find that money. As the source told me this week, said, look, it's year 6. What's another 8-4 season going to prove at this point? One other thing, Rob, that has made it really interesting. The arch rival, the team they hate more than anything, Texas, they're looking like a national title contender, and Steve Sarkisian's only been on the job half as long as Jimbo Fisher has.
All right, so Feldman's talking about how the A&M brass and their mega-rich donors, billionaires and guys worth hundreds and hundreds of millions, will not hesitate to drop $75 million on this. Now, here's the question. Will Ross Bjork make the hire? Or will a group of wealthy donors have so much influence that they will tell Ross Bjork what he's going to do? Remember, Ross Bjork did not hire Hugh Freeze. And he did not hire Jimbo. Well, that's a good thing that he didn't hire Jimbo Fisher. But he didn't hire Freeze. That was prior to Bjork's arrival in Oxford. If he loses to Ole Miss and LSU, he's gone.
We ain't going nowhere.
If he loses one of the two, then I think it's a good possibility at 8-4. Yeah.
So you think he's They keep him at 8-4. What are you saying? The good possibility they keep him, or he's still gone at 8-4.
I think there's a good possibility he's still gone at 8-4.
Wow.
I know.
Clown acts.
Deion Sanders, Lane Kiffin, Josh Heupel. Give me another name.
I mean, well, so what is your? Give me like just a quick criteria of who A&M, like what their candidate has to have.
Well, he needs to be hot at the time.
Mass appeal.
Yeah.
Right.
He needs to be hot in his coaching. So I don't know how Kiffin's going to finish in Heupel, but they rip off several more wins. They're good. Now, Deion needs to turn it around a little bit. But I don't even know. He may be so Teflon. Deion may, because he's so big, he's so magnetic, it may not, the loss to Stanford, he may be okay. Now, if they continue to throw up losses, then we'll see. But he's still prime. He's way bigger than Lane Kiffin and Josh Heupel. As far as name and brand, it's not even close. I mean, if you're comparing brands, Kiffin and Heupel don't have a brand compared to Deion Sanders.
Well, yeah. I mean, how many words or phrases does he try to have trademarked now? It's like 15, something crazy. I know he went to bull junk and then he tried the, mess around and find out, that sort of thing. But he doesn't necessarily, does he? Has he shown that he actually cares about the program, or has he shown he just cares about himself?
I think that's. I think Deion's always going to be Deion first, and the team second. Ooh, Robert says I think Franklin would make a nice back to the SEC. James Franklin from Penn State. All right, so Penn State. He likes it up there, and there's not the pressure to win that there is at A&M. I don't see it. Would he be a pretty good hire? Yeah. I don't see James Franklin leaving Penn State to go to A&M. I just don't. They're winning. And when he was losing, he got an extension. You get fired in the SEC. So they just don't have the commitment. Even though Penn State's been a better program from Joe Paul till now, they just don't have it. Urban Meyer to A&M. Now, could Ross Bjork pull that off? He's got the money. I mean, would Urban be interested in going to A&M? Urban, Coach Prime, Lane Kiffin, Josh Heupel.
Ooh, so you wouldn't put Mullen in there?
No.
Interesting.
Now, you can't. They're not going to hire somebody who just got fired at Florida. Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Who do we have?
We have a caller, DJ from Jackson.
All right.
And he wanted to talk about Deion Sanders.
All right. On the Ben Nelson Golf and Outdoor caller line, we've got DJ wants to talk Deion. DJ, what's up, buddy?
Hey, thanks, both. Thanks for the call. Long-time listener. Just want to say this. When Deion played in the NFL, he was faster than anybody on the field. Well, you know what? Now every Saturday he's coaching against people that know the game better than him. Yeah, he's got brand recognition, but when it comes to coaching in college football, he's in over his head. And you know what? Everybody talking about he's going to parlay Colorado into a big-time, move. Not going to happen. He had superior talent at Jackson State and would always get beat in the bowl game. But anyway, thanks, Bo.
Okay. I think we need to give Deion a little bit more credit than that. And I appreciate the call, and thanks for listening. We'll agree to disagree in that he went to Jackson State, got them up and running, and dominated. He was phenomenal. He's in his first year at Colorado. Let's slow down a little bit. And they're going to the Big 12, and and Texas and Oklahoma are leaving. So Deion could have the most talent in the Big 12 in a year, maybe even next year. He could have the most talent in the Big 12.